Hi, my name is Darren Eden, and I am doing a tutorial. It's been requested by a few people on how to make an airbending effect like in the live action Avatar trailer. I'm a huge fan of Avatar, so I figured this would be a great homage to it. So let's get right on started. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to right click, and you probably can't see that all the way, so right click, create a new solid. Okay. I'm going to name this particular. Size of the solid doesn't matter. Make sure it's composition size and press OK. Alright, now I'm going to go to my effects. I'm going to go down. You can't see this, but it's trap code particular. And hurry up, please. Chimone. And there we go. There's my particle system. All set up nice and neatly there. I'll go and solo that layer so you can see there's my particular system. And trapcode particular, it's a little expensive to buy, but if you're in that sort of thing, you can always go out and torrent it. Whatever. You gotta do it, get it somehow. Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and click on the emitter, and I'm gonna bump up the particles. I'm gonna say about a good 6. Okay. Now I'm going to go to the point in time where I want the particles to start emitting. Go ahead and turn this off right now. I'm going to go to the point in time where I want them to start emitting the particles, so about right there. Go there. Then I'm going to bring the life of the particles. I'm going to keyframe it. And right there. I'm going to hit page up to go frame up. And then I'm going to take it down to 0. So when he starts, the particles are born. So we can press U to find our keyframes on here. Slide over, missed them. And there's our 2 keyframes right there. Okie dokie. So now I'm gonna go to this point in time. Particles are good right there. Now I'm gonna set them down. So we're gonna go down to the particle setting, and we're gonna set the size of the particles down. Actually, no. Control Z to go back. We're gonna set the velocity down to about 10. And then I'm gonna move my particles. So I'll go over to the XY position, move them to right there, and I will set a keyframe. Okay, we'll go and zoom in here. Alright, so at this point in time, I'll hit UU. So there are my keyframes. And now, as the particles are being born, I want them to circle around him, so I'm going to have him follow his hand. So as his hand's right there, I'm going to go ahead and move my particles to about there. And I'll go back to my original keyframe and move him about right there with hand. So it follows his hand the entire time. What's the cool thing about particular is that it has an orientation, so that way any way you move the particles, they're always facing you, and then that allows them to rotate in Z space. So as I'm moving it, they're automatically rotating Z space. So I'll just keyframe them for where I want these to follow his hand for a few seconds. And just keyframes going. And about right there. As it's going, have it follow his hand. You see how the particles are all spinning nicely. So that's a plus. Says it's going. Just keep it on his hand. Okay, so I've gone through and keyframed my sequence, and now I'm ready to start doing some tweaking. So I'll go ahead and zoom back in here. And this is one of my friends, by the way. His name is Ricky Carter. He is an up-and-coming actor. He's been out in Hollywood and stuff, done some good things. And yeah, I just figured I'd ask him to help me out with this. And yeah, so that's Ricky. I've known him since I was a little kid, so yeah. I'm going to go and do some tweaking. The velocity is at 10. That's pretty good. Now I'm going to go in here and mess with the size. I'm going to bring it down to about 3 of my particles. The size of my particles is about 3. So I like that. And now what I'm going to do is go ahead and collapse this. And for my particular, what I'm going to do is go to Effect, Blur and Sharpen, CC Vector Blur. Alright, now by adding the CC is a method that was used by Andrew Kramer in one of his tutorials, so this all goes to him, and I just used it for the tutorial to make it the way I liked. So what I like to do is I like to change it from natural to perpendicular. I don't really know what the difference between them is, but it looks cool. And then for the amount, I just start blurring it out. And you can already see the changes in it, so I'm going to go about to 3 or so. You can already tell that it's starting to make an airy effect. And then you can play with the angle and everything and stuff the way you want to. And I like to bump up the ridge softness just because it is wind. So, and then we'll go to Effect, Blur and Sharpen, Fast Blur. Fast Blur is what sells the shot. It's what gives it the airy quality and wispiness. So I'll just bump that up, and there it is. You can see it doesn't look as good right now back in my particular, and mess around with my velocity a little bit. Maybe about like 20 maybe. No, let's keep it at 10. 10, maybe 13. 13's a good number. Okay. And make sure you keep it uniform. Keep your direction uniform. Your emitter point type a point and sphere. That's fine. Just basic, your generic settings, pretty much. Life of your particles. That's completely up to you. Size. Let's take that back up to 5 and see what it does. Okay, I like that better. And now we'll go into the settings. I'll hit T here to bring up the opacity. We'll lower the opacity some. So that gives us a nice air effect. So when you play it back, you get this nice wispy air. And you can even go into the settings here for opacity of your particles. Bring it down a little bit. Oops. Control Z to go back. And yeah, that's the basic gist of the effect. You can tinker around with it, do whatever you would like, but that's the basic gist of it pretty much. And it's not a hard effect to do. Like I said, I got bored one day and I was watching out because I was borrowing the DVDs from a friend, and I was like, I kind of want to make that. So called up a friend and just brought him out and we just went at it. And yeah, so I'm Darren Eaton. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. Please send me your feedback and any requests for future tutorials or anything like that. And thanks. Comment and rate. Subscribe. Later.